Welcome to Down the Stretch in upstate New York with Mark and Mike.
Thanks a lot.
Good morning,
How you
Joel.
guys doing?
Very well, Joel, and we're very pleased to meet you this morning. And Joel, if you will, as a first-timer here on our show, tell our audience about yourself for a couple of moments. I do understand that your family's in the game there.
Yes, my father's been a trainer for many years, and my mother was a barrel racer and helped in the training, and my wife's an ex-jockey, and a lot more of my family members are involved in horse racing or other horse-related activities. And I graduated from New Mexico State University in 1990, and since then have been training on my own, and it's just turned into, gotten bigger and bigger, and it's been good.
Joel, on any given day, how many horses are under your direction?
Well, we have a training center at Sunland Park called Frontera Training Center. We have a barn there that we house between 40 and 50 horses, and we usually keep 30, approximately 30 at the racetrack that we're running at, so somewhere in the neighborhood of 70.
Well, Joel, V1 is Pepper's pride, and before we get to take a look at her in action, I'd like you to tell our audience a little bit about her personality and how she takes to her training.
Well, she's a very aggressive mare as far as she's not silly or doesn't have any bad habits, but she's very aggressive. She loves to run. She loves to train. She trains often, and that's just what she is here for. She really enjoys it. She's good in the stall, a good eater. She's been very sound, healthy, and she just has a great desire to run and to win.
Joel, from the get-go, did you think that she would be one of the special ones? And as you answer this question, we're going to be taking a look at her last race, the New Mexico Cup, in which she got number 18 straight. So, you know, before she raced, did you think she was going to be something special?
Well, before we ever started her, just working her early on as a 2-year-old, I knew she could run and she was special, but you never thought that it would turn into anything like this with any horse, I don't believe, because it's never been done before. But it just grew each time we ran. She worked well all the time, but sometimes it takes a race in a horse to know what they're all about. And on race day, she shows up and shows some things that you don't see in the morning. And her, just that desire and that kick the last quarter of a mile has just been there every single time we've run her. And each time we ran her, we thought, well, you know, maybe we can win another one and another one. And it just, you know, it was just one at a time, but it kind of sneaks up on you, and here you are.
For our audience watching this race, she is number 7, and she'll be rallying here shortly going into the far turn. Joel, she's raced against New Mexico breds within the state. Couple questions here. Tell our audience something about the program for horses bred in New Mexico. I think it's pretty lucrative.
Yes. You don't see that on the earnings on the form, you know, where she's earned $991,000, I believe, in purse money, but you don't see all the owners' awards, breeders' awards, and stallions' awards, of which Joe Allen is the recipient of all of those. He's the owner, the breeder, and he owns 3/4 of the stallion. But in every race that you run in New Mexico, if you're a New Mexico bred, whether it's open or whatever, you receive an incentive from the racetrack of 10% of the winner's portion, which you get in a couple weeks after they run. And then at the end of the year, in November, they pay out the total awards, which is several $million, and the owner gets an award every time they run first, second, or third in a race in New Mexico. It doesn't have to be a New Mexico bred race. And the owner gets those awards, and then the stallion owner also gets awards, as well does the breeder get another award. The winning horse, winner New Mexico bred, the breeder gets another award at the end of the year, and it's set up into different classes, A, B, C, and D. Your stakes and higher races being A, and on down the line. But it can amount to, in a allowance race, it could amount to another $2,500 for the breeder at the end of the year, plus the 10% of the winners. Another almost $2,000 right away, and then the owner's award of probably close to $2,000, $1,500, and then the stallion is less because there's many more of them given out. But each time she ran, she could have probably averaged $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in breeders' awards on top of that you don't see.
Joel, have you been tempted to take her out of state for any race?
Oh, deep down inside, sure, you're tempted and you'd like to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that, I personally know she'd give a good showing, and where she fits, I can't tell you, and nobody else can either. There's all kinds of speculation that she's this or that, but, I know what she is, and she'd show up and do her best, and I think it'd be a good showing, but is it feasible and economical and the right thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It hasn't been thus far.
Joel, have you and Mr. Allen received offers to buy her?
I've been called over the years many times from bloodstock agents on different horses, and nobody's ever called me.
That's amazing. That is amazing, because, boy, people love winning horses. That's really something. I thank you for your candor there. Wow.
Nobody's...
Wow.
There's been talk and stuff, but nobody's called
How
up
about
like
that?
I've run horses before. Tin Can Sailor, who won the Rally House of Maturity, and different horses for people that were Kentucky bred horses, and you run them and you get a call the next 10 minutes from somebody saying, we're going to give you $150,000 for this horse right now, and we've had her for 4 years, and I've never received a call.
Amazing. Well, Joel, finally, I'd like to ask you, she's scheduled to run once more, at least that's the publicity, December 14th. Is this going to be her last race?
It's probable that it will be. It's not for sure. We're investigating some opportunities and in Kentucky to breed her. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not to say that somebody might come up and think that they can't live without her and want to buy her, and that may be something that happens too, but so far that hasn't happened. And there's the option of running another year and the possibility of running her somewhere else a time or two, but it's all just
right. Nothing's
for sure right now, and I'd like to breed her to Curlin. Of course, we don't have the money. We don't have the money to do that. But if they're out there listening and they want to make us a really good deal, we'd like to do that.
That's marvelous. Well, Joe, listen, I want to tell you, we've enjoyed meeting you this way this morning, and Mark and I thank you for your time and mostly congratulate you on a real good job of horsemanship. I don't care where they run. If you've got somebody that likes to be in front of the wire for 4 years, you've done a great job, and I hope we get the chance to speak again, okay?
All right, well, appreciate it.
Thank you, Joel.
Congratulations, Joel. Joel Marr, ladies and gentlemen.